Greetings everyone, I'm Rich from Humai, and in this video I want to just talk a little bit about the trends with the AI deepfakes and share my thoughts about it. And if you want, leave a comment, share yours, because I think this is a really interesting subject right now. So you can easily do a search for AI deepfake trend and you will find tons of videos that people are posting with Martin Luther King, Logan Paul, all sorts of celebrities, some of them alive, some of them deceased. I've seen them with Stephen Hawking in his wheelchair doing stuff. And right here, you can see we got Kim Jong-un and Putin. So, what's your thoughts on all of that, right? Like, right now, you can generate a video using AI and use someone likeness, use your likeness, use a person's likeness that doesn't even exist. Like, you can generate a person from scratch. So, this introduces quite the situation in today's times because people are generating things, and right now you can kind of tell that they're AI generated, but eventually you won't be able to tell. Right now, this is the worst it will ever be. So, what's that? What's that mean for us? What's that mean for consuming content and things like that? These are times that we have to have lots of discussions, explore lots of different opinions and things like that. But for me, what it kind of reminds me of is what happened with music and pretty much everything else up until now. Even with my career, my entire adult life, I've always worked as a freelance web and app developer. And now we got AI that can generate websites and apps from prompts. And even though they're not expert developer level at this point, next year at this time, they will be. So the thing is that software, and now what's called AI, is just consuming everything. It's digitizing everything. So one of the things that comes to mind is when I was growing up, my parents, both of my parents, my mother and my father, were musicians. They're both deceased now, but they were both musicians. And when I was growing up, my father, he played guitar amongst other instruments. My mother sang and danced and was a performer. And they had other members of their band that played other instruments, and they created music, really good music, and they would record it, and people could play their music on tapes back then. When it came to my music, I grew up listening to rap music. And so at the time I was growing up, NWA was coming out, and then Ice Cube, and a lot of rap artists, and they were making music that included music from my father's generation. So he would always complain about our music, and he would talk about how our music, in fact, wasn't music because what the artists did, what the musicians did for rap and hip hop was they used samplers and the samplers. And so my father would always, when he hear me listening to a song, he would always come and point out the original song, where that came from. And he would kind of complain that once again, my generation is just regurgitating the music from his generation, and it didn't take any talent. They're just using machines to do this. And our rap, we can't sing. Back in his day, people actually had to have talent, and I didn't realize it until actually not just a couple years ago, where what was happening was the digitization of music, and it had been going on even before my father's generation. So let me unfold this. Think about it. When you go back far enough, the only time you could hear music would be if the singer or musician that plays the instrument was right in front of you. You could not consume it if you were not there present with the person that's playing it or creating it. So then we went to a record or a way that you could then capture that sound and put it on something that could be then played again without the musician being in front of you. So I felt that was the first step in digitizing. And even though that's analog, technically, right? But it's kind of automating it because before you had to actually have the human beings in front of you and you had to pay them for their time and energy. But now you've got this device that you can play it over, over, and over again at your demand. So that's step one. Now, step two was when it came to digitizing all of the instruments, right? So instead of actually being able to play the guitar, you press a button and the sound of the guitar comes out, finely tuned, and all you have to do is press the buttons. Same thing with drums, same thing with everything else. Then came auto tune, and you can tweak the sound of a person's voice, and not only auto tune, other technologies as well that allow you to take a person that probably can't sing very well and make them be able to sound better. So now we've gotten to the point where we can completely generate music from the ground up using AI. And I wish my father was still around to be able to see a technology this exists where now you don't you don't even have to know how to use a drum machine or a keyboard. You don't even need a sampler. All you need is a prompt. So what's happening? The human is getting out of the loop. It's been happening the whole time. So you go all the way back to when you required the humans in front of you to play at all, to now where you can put in a text prompt and just generate it. And the same thing is happening across everything else. My entire career, I've always serviced people that could not write code. And so I spent the time and energy learning how to write code, learning how to work with different applications, learning how to work with servers and things like that. And so people that didn't have that time and energy to do it and just need it done now can pay me to spend my time and energy working on it. Well, now my wife, she's in there building a whole app and she has not a single grain of developer experience. She couldn't write, she couldn't declare a variable or even understand what that means. But she's building a really sophisticated professional, and is about to publish it, and it's all through prompting using a tool called V0 on Vercel servers. All of the server infrastructure moved out of the way. So she's become an engineer almost, right? Because she can produce the same kind of results. So when we think about it, think about back when it used to require a travel agency in order to go on a vacation. Now you just use Google Maps and whatever other app or website that you want to use and schedule your hotels and planes and everything. So then you get to the point where it's okay, now everything is being digitized, even our likeness, our voices, our faces, everything. There's cameras everywhere. Okay, everything is being recorded, and once it's getting recorded, it's going into an AI. Think about it. We're wearing glasses, these meta glasses. We record and it goes straight into an AI, right? Our entire world is being run through software and AI so that it can then be given back to us a little adjusted by AI. And so at that point, everything is becoming digitized. And so that's the thing. So I noticed that people are having mixed reactions to this stuff. Some people are having a lot of fun and they're creating all types of stuff. Even me on my Instagram, I even have a video of Pac where I had Pac promote a one of our events in the metaverse. And I had some mixed reactions on here. Most people seemed to it, but then I had a couple of people that didn't. So you can see right here, he's dead. That's not good for using AI for dead. And I can understand that respect that people want to put on a person that's deceased. But the thing is that people are always passing away. And if they're a public figure, this these AIs are already trained on them, and that content is going to constantly be being produced. And so it's a situation where I can understand people wanting to protect a likeness or a sound or things like that. And that's the type of stuff that we've got to have solved in our technology and in our society, figure out what those boundaries are. But then, even when we figure those out, we're going to have other countries that don't have the same laws, and they're going to build the technologies and they'll make them online, and then you'll have to ban those. And it's going to be a cat and mouse game from here on out with this stuff. So no matter what position a person takes on it, because it is so many different opinions. But I think that the important thing is to just be aware that it exists and figure out how it works so that you can be privy to what's out there. You have to be more careful what you're consuming these days. And if you are struggling with trying to produce some of this stuff, you can become a member of my Huma OS app. My Huma OS app allows you to easily generate 3D models. So you can generate a 3D model of anything that you want, and then you can edit it. And you can also generate images using Nano Banana for now, but there's going to be other ones coming soon. You can edit images, generate images, compose images from multi-images. You've got access to Sora, and you've also got access to Google VO 3.1 in here. And there's also a integrated AI helper called Izzy that will answer any of your questions. And you also have me that will help you with anything that you need help with. So you can sign up, use HumiOS to build videos, images, all of your marketing material using the top models that exist. And I keep updating this so we'll always stay on the edge of what's possible.